Welcome to another video from Auto Garage Life, and in this video I try to do a sum in my head.
Less than £20 to fix that.
I do a bit of dabbing.
What a great little tool. And there they are, Scratch Doctor. Go and check them out.
And we try and correct the very big mess that I made in the previous video.
But I made a very big mess. Welcome back to another video from Auto Garage Life, and we're series SLing it again today. If you haven't seen my last video, I'll put it up in the cards because this one leads on from that one. Go and watch my last one and you'll see what happened here. So we've now fixed this little flap, but I made a very big mess of it. I had this damage before I put it back on, but all this was me, and it's super glue. So we're going to try and get that off, and what we're going to use is some acetone. Careful with this stuff, we'll take everything off. So we're going to give that a shot and see if that gets off the super glue, and then we'll try and touch up the leather with leather glue on these bits. And if it's discoloured a little bit after the super glue incident, we'll use a dabbing pen or some leather paint just to get it back to looking a bit better. Okay, so we're just going to dab this on with some cotton buds and we'll see how we get on. Let's see how we get on with this. Oh yeah, that's coming off. Nothing I had detailing wise was even coming close to taking this off. We've just been careful with this acetone. I think we're going to get there. Taking off quite a lot of dirt as well, but we'll soon see how it looks after it's dry. Alright, so after the acetone and leaving it for a couple of days, you can still see it's very, very discoloured. Right, so it's not the best looking. And the acetone has taken away the stickiness of the glue, but we're not happy with that finish, are we? No, we're not. So we do have the problem of this tear here. It is quite a big tear when you look at it that way, and thankfully though hopefully we can get it sorted today. And then once we've glued back this tear, we can colour the panel here and get it back to looking as close to being as new as we possibly can. So what we're going to do to fix that? Well, I've just got this kit from thescratchdoctor.co.uk, and I'm going to put their link in the description below, and I encourage you to check them out, because what I was most concerned about doing a leather repair in the SL was colour matching the leather dye or the leather paint, whatever you call it. But what Scratch Doctor does is they check your VIN number for you and they colour match to the exact colour code of the leather. So you'll see mine says Mercedes Black 201. Go back to the car. Most SLs like mine are two-tone leather, light grey and black. And what I wanted, of course, was the black to complete a repair in the tonneau cover area. Now looking at it, I did think it was kind of dark grey as opposed to jet black, but it isn't. It's black 201. And when you go into the Mercedes colour codes, there's 2 or 3 different variations of black, so the guys at Scratch Doctor will keep you right. You can also get the pens and the paint and repair kits for the leather seats if you've got bad bolstering or you've got bits that are coming apart, so that's really good for starters. Second thing is, they also sell kits of leather glue and leather filler, which I've got here, and it comes with good instructions telling you what to do, and a wooden spatula for putting on the leather glue. Now, the material there is for fixing holes or patches that you can glue underneath any leather flaps or tears that you've got in it. Mine is such a small repair, the flap is actually still there, that I think the glue should be enough. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use the leather glue and see how I get on. I don't think I'll need the filler, But the filler's really good for covering holes and scratches, but we'll see, because we'll see what it looks like. And I'm going to try and glue down this flap first. In the last stage, we'll be using this dabber pen to recolour the bit that we've messed up. So let's see how we get on with this. Okay, first step, just make sure the area is clean. It should be. We just cleaned it with acetone a couple of days ago and the car's not been outside, but just to make sure, give it a quick wipe with an alcohol wipe. And then this is the bit we're going to try and glue down. So what I'm going to do is just expose the bare material underneath, pick back any bits that I think are going to be needing stuck back down. Right, so for this step, we're using the leather glue. That's handy. It actually comes with a little brush, just like a touch-up kit, so that's better. Just get rid of the excess. I'm just going to dab this on, put it on the leather itself, the flap and the material underneath. I hope this works, because you can't have a Mercedes SL with one of these missing and one of these damaged, so there, it should be enough. I'm actually going to use this little wooden lollipop stick that came with it and just hold it down. Just going to press on this for a few seconds just to make sure it sets in place. So, instructions say to heat up the area with a heat gun. I've only got a small hairdryer for about 5 minutes to let the glue cure, so we'll do that. And to make sure it doesn't blow up the flaps, I'm just going to put this on it. And I've just put a little bit of glue on this tiny wee bit here, because it is starting to creep up, but not as bad as this bit, but it could get worse, so might as well do it when I'm here. Okay, so after the leather glue, this bit is now stuck down. I put a little bit of glue on here as well, so a tiny wee bit just wanting to creep out. So what I think I'll do is, there is a little bit of white still there where the leathers came off, so I'm going to just use a little bit of filler in these bits here. These bits are just discoloured from that super glue that I put on as is that, so there isn't really any tears as such here, but we'll see. We'll see what the filler looks like here. Just put a tiniest wee bit in. That's been drying for about 5 minutes now. Okay, so now we're going to use this, the leather filler. Comes in a little nice wee container. And all we're going to do is use the spatula or the lollipop stick and just put a tiny wee bit here, because it is such a small repair. We'll see what that looks like. Just put a bit here as well when we're at it. And I'm going to go for a bit round the side here. This is the black leather filler that I've ordered. You can get it in various colours. And when I'm here, there was a tiny bit round here that I wanted to fill. I think this little panel must have just flown off. Didn't happen in my ownership of the car. It's when I bought it I realised it was like this. This is good fun doing this. Quite enjoying this. Now, bear in mind, I've never done this before. I've done lots of stuff to lots of cars. But I've never done a leather repair. I've replaced leather seats, as in the entire seats in the past. But I've never done a repair like this. So I'm doing this for the first time. So the instructions say to smooth this out as best you can across the area, which we'll do. Actually looks pretty good the way it's sitting. You don't want to use too much of this because it's just a tiny wee area, like I'm saying. And dry this again with the heat gun or the hairdryer. So that's dry now, the first layer. The instructions do say that a hole can take up to 5 layers of this to actually make it even, so I'm just going to dab a little bit more on. See, I must admit, it's looking a lot better even just now. I'll probably put the paint on. Alright, so here's how it's looking after I've applied the filler. It actually looks a lot darker off camera. This looks as if it's lighter, but that is looking a lot better. It's filled in all the gaps so you can see the material under the leather, as with that bit and with here as well. and it is looking a lot better. So what I'm going to do now is, I might give it one more coat, see if I can smooth this area over completely, and then I'll put the paint on.
Now, given the fact I'd never done this before, I wasn't expecting absolute perfection. However, the end results were very surprising even to me, and I was really shocked, so stick around to the end of the video.
Right, so that's 3 coats of the filler. And you can see actually off camera that looks completely black. Off camera I wouldn't even need the paint. That is really good. Nice and smooth, you can't see any of the white material underneath, which is what I was hoping for. So we'll let that dry completely for a few minutes and then we're going to put on the paint. Okay, so last stage, we're going to use this dabber pen. Instructions say to shake it for 20 seconds and then press the tip of it until the colour starts to flow out. Apply it in thin layers and allow each layer to dry. So let's go for this. What I'm going to do first, since I've never used this before, I'm going to just test it on a bit of kitchen roll first. It looks like that little dabbing pen there, so it's completely white just now. So we'll dab it until the stuff comes out. There we are. That's it. And now, put it on the leather. Just going to do a very thin layer at first. And then we'll dry the thin layer off and see what it looks like. Not applying a lot of pressure here at all. Literally doing what it says in the tin and dabbing it on. I didn't even know something like this existed. I'll put a little bit on the side here. There, that'll do for the first layer. Let's dry that off. Okay, layer 2. Give it a couple of coats. So far so good with the match. I'm even going to dab a little bit in there that gets scratched. Just going to dab in the areas around that I've done. What a great little tool. This is brilliant. No mess either. Well, I must say, I am very impressed. When you stand here, you would never even know that had been repaired. What an excellent job. Colour matched perfectly. And let's face it, if you were looking at this car and didn't know that was there, your eye's not drawn to it at all. You would never have a clue. I possibly need to use a little bit more filler in that section there that I repaired. But apart from that, the actual repair itself, the colour is perfect. I'm so surprised it turned out as well as it did. There. I am more than happy with that result. I think that is excellent. There was a bit of damage to the panel under here, so it is a bit dented. The way that's looking right now, I am happy with that. I'm going to cover this with leather balm as well once I'm finished, but I have to leave it now for 24 hours to set, so we'll leave it and see how it looks. But you know, that cost, I don't know how much that was in total, let's say about less than £20 to fix that. You go and try and get a panel for this car at Mercedes that matches it, you have to buy the whole thing going from here back to here, including this little flap. You're £200–300 easy. So for a little spot repair, for the first time of me doing it as well, I would say that is a job well done. Big thumbs up to thescratchdoctor.co.uk. I want to go and buy more dabber pens now. I don't need any for this car, but I need red for the BMW, and I'll use that black probably on the Dodge. But wow, what a great little tool. I think that's been the most impressive part of this whole process. This little pen, just for colouring the leather, if you've got any little scuffs on the bolstering or anything like that, what a great little tool. And there they are, Scratch Doctor. Go and check them out.